the 5, 6, and 7s. So this is a second repeat for the 5, 6, and 7s because we did not record them. All right. Let me see if I can get. There's 2 more people. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter really because all they need is the video, so I won't worry as much. In the long haul, everybody just wants the video. So we're going to start with the 5s. Patty. Betty. I'm so sorry. Betty.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start with the 5 of wands. I'm going to go forward this time instead of backwards. An exciting challenge. 5 of wands. External conflict. This is usually a conflict with others. It's a struggle, but it's not an internal struggle. All right? If it's sabotage, which we're going to get to, which is the 5 of swords, that's an internal struggle where you make mistakes, right? The need to prove oneself. It does come in the form of competition. It means to be assertive, all right? Sometimes being assertive brings upon conflict within oneself. But assertiveness means external. So it means to push out, all right? Faith in one's ability to compete, physical activity, usually can be related to sports. So if somebody asks about their child and they're like, I don't know what to do with my child, this card comes up. You can keep it nice and simple, and you can say, I think he needs to be in sports. All right. If there's a lot of water cards around, then you could say sports, because that's what this card represents. And then you can mention maybe water sports, maybe swimming, maybe water polos, something like that. If there's a lot of swords around, then you could say fencing, golf, baseball, all right? This card does represent obstacles, but obstacles where you have to work out the challenge. It doesn't mean that challenge is there and you go, I don't know what to do. No, it means you've got to figure it out. You know, it although this is a wands, which is physical activity, it also means to use your mind. The 5 of wands. It means you must take vigorous action, but in order to take vigorous action, you can't be like a fool and leap. You have to think, what should I do to get through this obstacle, to stop the obstacle, to compete better? What should I be doing differently? All right. Agitation, strife, definitely arguments. If this card comes up and they're asking about relationships, the first thing you can say is, I see a lot of arguments. Why is everybody confused? Hold on a second, Betty. Unexpected problems, all right? And unexpected problems could be like, why are you 5? You're not 5. Unexpected problems could be like flooding, electrical issues, a tree falls, and you've got to like, oh my God, what do I do? An argument with family, really unexpected problems. All right, but that still requires action. Okay, a tree fell in my garage. We're not going to leave it there. It creates a problem that brings agitation and stress and blah, 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 blah. Um, I go to work and I've always gotten along with this woman, and today we are not getting along. And it's going on for too long. It's been going on for 5 weeks. You can not let it continue on in the Five of Wands placement. You have to figure out what the problem is, which means, again, I'm back to thinking, which means you have to talk, which means you have to be like, maybe I did something wrong. Not that you're going to get all the answers that you need. It just means you must do something. You must be assertive. And you may not like the outcome. Because in this assertiveness, you can lose. That's the whole purpose of any challenge. It means the potential to not win. You may need to compete. Oh, this is my favorite. If you're traveling and this card comes out, you can tell your client, let me tell you something, get 3 hours early. I don't care if you're going 2 states over. There's going to be a problem. So at least you'll be there. When the problem occurs, at least you'll be there and be able to fix it. You may need to compete or face an exciting challenge. It also could be a good challenge. Like, I like to use this card because I'm in LA and, kids will call and it's like, I got an audition. Like, oh my God, how exciting. An exciting competition. Success will come as a result of your assertive efforts to overcome any nuances and any obstacles. Some of the strife may be due to your own refusal to see somebody else's point of view. I just had a conversation with my son the other day, and his grandmother told me that he never calls her. And I was like, I get that. That is who he is. But I will have a conversation with him, and I will tell him he's got to reach out to you more. And then she pulled the death card. She's like, I'm almost dying. And I was like, oh my God, let's not go the extra mile. I didn't say that, but in my mind, I was like, now she pulls the death card. So I called my son, and I told him what his grandmother said. And then I said to him, she is telling the truth because you do the same thing with me. And then he went on his big spiel about how he has this baby, newborn baby. And I was like, dude, don't try that. Don't you dare. At this stage of the game, communicating is love. Pick up the phone and communicate. Or, in my case, just text back. Timely. He got it because he's been wonderful at it. Him and his wife. They're both like very self-absorbed. The both of them. The both of them. But I see them for who they are, and I'm not mad at them. It's just that when I needed to correct him, right away he went into this Five of Wands. He was ready to fight. And I was like, no. When you're wrong, you're just wrong. And you have to hear me. I have something to say. You can sit back and hear me. And I'm telling you that because one of the problems with the Five of Wands, or anybody's having arguments when they call you for a reading, they're the victims when they call you. They're like, he treats me bad. And both sides, I promise you, have responsibility in the demise of the relationship. I promise you. One of the people always goes overboard, and that's how the relationship takes a deep dive. But the bottom line is, 2 people created this mess. And part of that, as for being a spiritualist, is getting the people to understand, can you get his side? One of the good things that I get, sometimes I get, I swear people don't hear you. And I'll say something like, I don't know, I'll have to make it up now. It's like, he doesn't like you making cake. And she'll be like, but I always make cake. And I'm like, can you understand his side? He doesn't like cake. Did you ever ask him if he likes cake?
It's like you're defensive.
What you say?
It's like they're so defensive.
They're immediately defensive.
Yeah.
Especially they're paying. Oh my God! Please do not. I swear to God, don't try me. She. Oh my God, Cash! I can't do this with you. Come sit over here with me then. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill this dog. Stop! Stop! I'm sorry. You're driving me crazy. Come sit here with me then. Okay? Just sit here. Stop crying, okay? I was out all day, so she is not happy. And she never used to whine. It just started like, what was the last thing I said to you, Betty?
About being defensive.
Mm-hmm.
They're so defensive.
Yeah, they're paying me. So their expectation is one, for them to tell me their side, and two, for me to participate in sympathy as they're trying to tell me their side of the story. Hi, Shelby. How are you?
I'm fine, sweetie.
So,
Hey.
we're at the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands. Hi, Erica. We're at the Five of Wands. So, when this card comes up, the Five of Wands, in a reading, I was just telling Betty, it's very important to understand that the person that you're communicating with may not understand the other person's point of view. Because you might want to say to them, well, your daughter's acting this way because you don't listen. And then because they're paying you, they're like, oh, but I do listen. I didn't. It's like, no, do you listen the way she needs you to listen? Can you do it her way? Do you understand? And the Five of Swords represents somebody that needs to be point out the other person's point of view. All right? The Five of Wands suggests you are dealing with rivalry and contention. I like to think of this card as like two soccer teams, right? But when I think of two soccer teams and how fierce and vigorous that type of sparring is, then I like to vision that in your house. Hi, Kiana. Then I like to vision.
Hey, sorry guys. I'm so sorry I'm late.
Oh, no. Three of you all popped up at the same time, so don't worry.
Good.
The Five of Wands is the type of card where I see two soccer teams, and it's fun, but it's aggressive. And I like soccer as an example over football. I see football as violent, but that's just me. Like, you have to, like, knock somebody to the ground. But soccer's not like that. And yet there's a determination to win. So imagine that visual in a house between two couples, where love is kind of there. I'm not saying that it's not, but there's an argument and somebody has to win. Somebody's got to give up the goal. Somebody's got to win. Somebody maybe has to see the other person's point of view. That's what the Five of Wands represents. A battle of swords. Mute your mics. This card, you may need to, it's an assertive card. And that's the other thing I was trying to point out. There's a need to speak up. There's a need to say no. There's a need to stand your ground. Not stubbornly, assertively. Two different presentations. All right? The other thing that's involved with this particular card, and you're going to get this a lot as of lately, you know, people have patterns. The world has patterns. Everybody's on the road at the same time of the day. How weird is all of that? not just during rush hour. I know in my neighborhood, everybody is out in the street between 2:30 and 4:30. That's not even rush hour yet. There's these patterns. The world has them. I used to work at Target. You could see all the rush coming in at the same time, and like zombies, you see them coming through the aisles, getting ready to check out. And as an employee, that visual is actually very scary. Seriously. You're like, they're coming. And we see it because then we're like, okay, guys, come back to the register, not letting the people know that we see zombies coming. And usually fat zombies, if you don't mind me saying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was my vision. Like, everybody was like, all right. I insult. I'm sorry. Dumpy. That doesn't matter. I insult. I'm sorry. So with all that being said, there's similarities in conflicts as well. You must stand up for yourself. If your question was about romance, you may need to compete with another to win your lover's affection, especially if it's coupled with the Lover's card. If it shows up with the Two of Cups even, this card should not show up with the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a harmonious card. If this card comes up, you can almost say, how's my relationship going? Oh, it seems fine right now, but it looks like some arguments are going to come up. So just beware, if it's not necessary to engage, don't engage, but it is okay to be assertive with how you're feeling. The Five of Pentacles. Down and out, poverty, needing help, loss of a job, loss of a home, disappointment in a relationship, misfortune. 2008, everybody was the Five of Pentacles. It was scary. Troubles, unemployment, risky self-employment. You're going to find many clients that are going to say to you, I want to start my own, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to help you, give them really good advice. Tell them and invite them to start their own business. Tell them to keep their current jobs, to literally fuel their new venture.
What is that noise?
Oh, mute your mics, guys. Mute your mics. Kiana. Thank you. No. Hold on. I think Kiana's driving. Listen, this card also represents legal settlements. If you get the Justice card, if you get the Judgment card, and you get this card, you can guarantee they're not getting a lot of money. And tell them, I think it'll settle. I don't believe you're going to get $80,000. The Five of Pentacles it literally means they're going to get screwed. All right? And since we don't read upside down cards, if Judgment shows upside down, if Justice shows upside down, those are losses in legal issues. Those are not winning. But we don't do upside down cards. You are invited to do upside down cards. And the way I practiced upside down, if you want me to help you, I would shuffle, separate the cards 3 times, turn the top over to be the opposite, reshuffle, and then if upside down came up, then it's readable. It's readable for what it is. If you pull 10 cards and the upside down comes up, it's authentic in your reading. Like, believe it. All right? But I don't read upside down card. I used to, but I don't anymore because it's a double meaning. And I've decided if there's anything bad that needs to come through, because that's what upside down means. It means the opposite of the good. If there's anything bad, there's enough bad cards in the deck for you to read an event that's not healthy for someone. It'll show up anyway. You gotta trust the process. Hi, Demetria.
Hey.
We're on the Five of Pentacles.
Okay.
When the Five of Pentacles shows up, it means someone's lonely and they've been lonely for a while. It means that there might be some demoralization, particularly at work and at home. It means feeling left out or feeling left out in the cold. You might have a group of friends and they're like, how does my girlfriend feel about me? And it's like, I feel like she's leaving you out of things lately. And then they'll be like, yeah, because somebody else came along and they're all friends now. You know, they'll tell you. It does mean health problems. Remember, we talked about health, but remember, you can state it. You cannot diagnose. All right? So you could be like, you know, maybe some health problems. You know, maybe just relax a little. All right? Try not to tell people to take aspirin, Theraflu, any herbal medicine if you're talking about health. If you're talking about ways to relax, which is not health, then you could say chamomile tea works, lavender lemonade works. What else works? I think it's valerian works. But that's by using the correct words, which is, well, if you want to relax, try this. Hi, Jenna. We're on the Five of Pentacles. With the Five of Pentacles, you may feel like you've been left out in the cold. You may be under strain financially. You may be falling on hard times, or you're already there. You may realize money doesn't buy you love. All right? You might wind up with a good job that pays you well. And you wake up one day and you're like, I can't. I'm grateful for the money, and Tracy, I've got a good life. I've got a beautiful car. I can pay for whatever I want. I've got several red bottom shoes. I'm not happy. You know, money can't buy you love. Oh, who says that song? Luann on Real Housewives of New York. Money can't buy love. Does anybody watch Real Housewives of New York?
No, I only watch the reviews on YouTube.
Oh my God, you are missing the best bitches in the franchise.
That's what I gather from the review. The channel that I watch the reviews.
You watch the Bravo reviews, which I love those reviews now. They argue professionally. They are good. They are crazy and good, and you're riveted. New Jersey's a mess. It's like you almost have to make up things with Jersey. Atlanta, I hate Atlanta. I hate Portia. I hate Nene. Who else do I hate? All of them. Potomac.
They make too much money now. They got too much.
But they're not even being authentic anymore.
That's what I mean. When you make that much money now, you can't. You have to plot your arguments. You can't just let it.
Exactly. Potomac and New York are my favorites. No. Orange County, funniest bitches ever. The original OG women, to this day, they don't care. They will throw down. All right, I digress. How did I get there? Oh, money can't buy you love. And then I said, Luann. You may be overextending yourself. I had a girl today in a reading, and she's like, why don't I have any friends? And the cards told me, I was like, I don't know. It just seems like, one, it seems like you should have friends. And then I looked some more, and I was like, I think you kind of overdo it with your friends. So instead of having friends, your friends see you and take advantage of you. So then I checked her chart, and it turns out she had her Mercury in Cancer, and that's the way she communicates. So she communicates like a Cancer woman that is overly kind, overly sensitive, like will fix your problem because she could sense it. And then she also had some intuitive abilities, you know. But I think I got through by saying she was just too nice. I think I got through. However, I know Cancer moons. People, she's not a Cancer moon, but that's the way she communicates, so it's just as bad. They almost can never stop. It's a part of them. Okay? They can't help but overdo it. And I know a lot of Cancer moons. Cancer sun signs are not the nicest people. They will talk a big game about who they are. And it could be true. It's not necessarily true with the Cancer sun sign. Like, I like to use Wendy Williams as an example. She talks a big game. I do this and I do that. And then she'll be the first one you'll see on public TV be like, I thought you said you do this. Do you know what I mean? Cancers talk up a good game. The moon sign and any other Cancer in a rising, Mercury, Mars, they are almost more like Cancers than Cancers are. Did I explain that right?
You mean, I'm a Cancer rising, and I have to force myself to stop helping people.
Hello? You really have to know who you are. And without knowing who you are, you would spend your lifetime being hurt by people.
And
Because
I
you
did.
just give and give. Mm-hmm.
I did. Well, I eventually had to tell myself when I knew it was time for me to stop, they'll be all right. They'll be all right.
They'll be all
And I
right.
will force myself to find something else to do.
Yes, yes. Or at the very least, you kind of have to refuse people help so they don't choose you as their first option.
Mhm.
Or how about you're just not letting people grow every time you step in front of them to help them?
Mhm.
How about just say, I don't have it? I don't know where my Cancer is. I don't think I have Cancer, so I don't know where my generosity comes from. But in any case, my son, I'll bend over backwards for, which I did, right? To help them have the most beautiful wedding. It was just beautiful. I can't take credit for all the monies, but they did not want for anything, right? If the girl said, can you pay for my veil? I was like, you got it. You know? And just before their wedding, I was just about to have problem with rent. Was it before or after? I think it was after. And I was just about to have a problem with rent. And I was like, listen, guys, I might have a problem this month. So, I might need $100. You know, those two son of a bitches hesitated.
Oh, no.
Hesitated. And I kind of looked at them and I was like, oh, this is not going to, like, I didn't say it, but I was like, this is not going to turn out well for you. You know, when you just look, not like really mean, but it was like, huh, are you guys really going to refuse me? Really? Well, they must have got that memo because within 10 seconds they were like, absolutely. I was like, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Turns out I didn't need them, but the hesitation,
Mhm.
clock that. Especially you, Demetria, when You know, and I have to tell you, if you've ever helped anybody, you know how you'll never get them to help you ever again?
Mm-hmm.
Call them up and tell them you need help with something. They'll never
Especially
contact you
money.
again. Huh?
Especially money.
That's well, you have to say, yeah, thank you. You have to say, hey, I need some help. Do you have 100?
Mm.
They will say no because you're dealing with selfish people. Selfish people only think about themselves, and that's why they come to you. They take advantage of you to see the kindness in you. If you turn it around and ask them for money, you will never see them again. I promise you. They will say no and avoid you like you have the bubonic plague.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Right, Betty? Trust and believe. You want to get rid of people? Ask them for money. don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just call them up. You want to start getting rid of people? Call them all up. I need 100. Oh, well, if anything moves you to give me 100, you're not begging. You're getting rid of them.
Well, you know, Tracy, I used to do that in my younger days.
What's that?
To the men.
Oh,
To the ugly men that always tried to talk to me, and I would always ask them for money, and then they would leave me alone. Yeah, I do that, and I do that now. When they want to talk to me, I ask them how much money they got.
Good.
And leave me alone. I love it. I'm like the hermit in the card.
You know what? I think that is really good if you truly, truly just want to get rid of them.
Yeah, I truly do.
Yep. Then you see, it works. Just ask them for money.
Yep.
They will. Oh, baby. Let me see what I could do. Your
Yeah.
number
Oh
is
my gosh.
blocked. They will block you. You make me want to go back online just to pull that trick now.
You said you want to go back and do it?
I want to go back online just to ask for money.
I think you should.
Ah,
Because they run. They do. They run. They run. As soon as you start asking for anything, they're like, oh, well, they start stuttering. I think
Yep.
you should.
Yeah.
I should do it as a dating experiment.
Just see what happens. I'm telling you, they start stuttering and stuff.
I'm gonna do it. When I come back from vacation, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have fun with these guys who take advantage of us anyway, so I'm just gonna turn it around and have fun with them.
I think so.
One of my girls on Facebook, she's also a psychic like me. Her name is Bella. Adorable girl. So similar in her spirit. And she's also always documenting her dating experiences on Facebook. And she goes, it's just amazing how they say, nowadays they're really smart. So they say, nope, I have an open relationship and something. And then she goes, then why isn't your face shown? Why don't I get your face?
Big butt ugly.
Probably
Who said
that
that butt
too.
ugly? Who said that?
Probably butt ugly too. Shelby, I think.
I cannot with you
They
girls.
want to FaceTime instead of taking you out. They want to FaceTime you. Like guys, if you meet them online, they want to FaceTime you instead of taking you out.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about that?
Here's what I hate about that though. You're not allowed to prejudge me.
Yeah, I can do it.
You're not allowed to make me dress up, put on makeup, fix my hair, so we could sit like this and talk.
I ain't doing it.
Because you know, as girls, we can't just get on the phone and FaceTime.
No. And who looks good on FaceTime or video? Like, no.
No. No.
Is that how
And
the young people are dating now? Is that how the young people are dating now?
what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you meet somebody online, they want to FaceTime you instead of just taking you out.
Because they want it, they get the beauty out the way. They're like, if she ain't pretty enough.
They want to make sure they can judge you
can be judged, especially in my age bracket. I'm in the 50 plus age men. They are not groomed. They are not trying to keep themselves up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm older now, and let me tell you, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
What age bracket? What age bracket you said you was in, Tracy? The 50.
I said 50 plus.
Oh, the 50 plus. Oh, God.
But I lie every day, so.
I don't know. I'll be 52 in a couple weeks, and I don't even know if I don't even know, Tracy, if I even want the 50. I don't even know who I want.
Well, the pickings are slim anyway, and they're all grouchy. They're all grouchy in our age bracket.
They are.
And they don't want to
I
date.
think I just want a sugar daddy. I just want a sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy's nice.
Yep, that's a sugar daddy. I don't want you coming over here dropping off no worms or nothing. You can just give me some money, and that's it.
what the
Conversation, we can giggle a little bit.
What the hell are worms? What do you mean worms?
Worms. We got worms.
I thought I was the only one who did that.
What?
That's what they say in my family too. Old men got worms.
Yeah.
Old men? Wait. This is new. 'Cause now you guys are going to make me panic. Old men have worms?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what my mama used to say.
What type of worms and where? I need to know.
I don't know. I think it was just something they would say to scare you from not taking
Yeah, you from messing with them.
from older men or
Oh, they were trying to
And
scare
at
the young
52, I'm
girls.
still scared.
They were trying to scare the young girls from dating older men.
right.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I always pictured a worm coming out of their penis or something.
I picture ringworms. So
Wingworm, yeah, like a wingworm.
Oh, like ringworms. No. Oh, that must be a southern thing. Are you both in the South? It has to be a southern thing. I've never
I'm
heard
from
that.
Delaware.
Hmm?
I've heard of dogs getting worms, having heartworms.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
peaceful.
Oh, yeah.
y'all never heard of ringworms?
No,
No, you
we've heard
never
of
really-
ringworms, but ringworms are for children.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't
Well,
get.
well, whatever old people have, children have too. Because, children was born with no teeth. When you get old, you ain't got no teeth. Children, some of them was born bald-headed. When you get old, some of them lose their hair. So, teach them to walk when they're young, when they're baby. You got to teach them to walk again when they're old. So, I think everything together when you're old and young. That's why I like to be in the middle.
See, and I'm not down for dating a 40-year-old. I don't want anybody
Now, I
too
don't want no
young.
40-year-old. He's got to be over 45.
45 is too young for me now. I don't even want anybody 45.
I don't know.
I want them
I
at their 50s. I want them at that threshold.
Mm.
I don't want to have to talk to a guy and be like, do you remember when? I don't want to do that. He goes, no, I don't remember.
You feel old. Like, you don't want to cry.
Exactly. I don't want to feel old. I want to feel comfortable as I'm old. I want to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I want to be like, remember the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
True. It's true because, you want to feel comfortable at the age that you are so you don't feel like you got to teach them or,
Can't. I just can't. I'm not down for it. But in any case, we'll try some. We're going to stay together, so we'll figure out all of these dating issues as they come up.
Okay.
Well, I'm new to, the 40-year-old crew.
Oh,
I'm
you're
I have
40-ish.
dating 40-year-old. I just turned 39 and I got to start dating, up.
So who said that? Who's talking?
Kiki.
Kiana.
Start dating up. I got to start dating,
Yes, I would date up to, but you can still date somebody 35. And I want you to enjoy your 39. Did you turn 39 yet?
yes.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't go to
I am.
40 yet. Stay here. Stay at 39. It's amazing.
All right.
Yeah, you
It's all
got it.
downhill.
Stay young. Stay there at 39. I
Yeah.
remember I was 39 and forgot that I was 39 and was telling everybody I was turning 41.
Well, I tell everybody I turned 40, but I'm 39.
Oh my God. No, stay at 39, everyone. Stay there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right?
39.
Demetrius like, yeah. It's beautiful there. All right, let's go on. 5 of Swords. Negative energy. I see the 5 of Swords as self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. Or, no, it's always self-sabotage. Or it's an empty victory that creates self-sabotage. Be careful when you want to win. Be careful when you have to win that argument. Be careful when somebody got over on you on work and you plan on going back, nailing them. Be careful. It'll cost you your job. I have a lot of people that call me. This person's been bothering me. This person's been bothering me. And I went in today and I just, rammed her. And I'm like, so you're calling me because you think you're going to lose your job. They're like, yeah. Why do we get to that point? I was just at my local supermarket, which is called Ralph's, and this woman dropped a whole thing of, seedless watermelons on the floor. And this worker was standing there, and she starts to pick up the watermelon. And I guess she got mad at herself, because then she looks at the guy, the worker, and she says, "Why aren't you helping me?" And I guess he kind of just shrugged, and then she got louder, and she's like, "Why aren't you helping me? You're just standing there, blah, 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 blah." So I went over to help, and I said, "Just tell the manager."
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to scream, "Stop screaming!"
Mm-hmm.
But then I would have added. So I said, I picked up the watermelon, I got close to her, and I was like, "Just tell the manager." And I picked up another one, and then I looked at him, and I was like, "You really should help, though." I was like, I was like, "Come help." And then he said something stupid about, like, needing to get something, and I was like, "Oh, well, then get it. Be like, help." And then later on, she came behind me, because I was buying some chicken, and she came behind me, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "in the future," which I should have just shut up, right? I was like, "In the future, you should just communicate that with the higher ups." I said, "Screaming doesn't work. Like, if anything, it was bad enough you dropped all the I didn't say this to her, now I'm telling you. She dropped all the watermelon all over the floor. You heard bing, bang, boo, and she, like, so we got all of that drama out, and then to top it off, we had to hear you screaming and yelling? How about no? How about you could have went over to him and said, "Listen, I am so sorry. I apologize. I just dropped all the watermelon. Please forgive me." That's what I would have done. So then I could be a little spiteful, right, guys? And so I didn't like his response to her, nor did I like his response to me. So I passed by. Listen, don't look at me bad. There's just evil in me, right? I passed by and I had blueberries, and I dropped the blueberries on the floor.
You did what? You dropped it on the floor.
It's the little things.
It's the little things. I dropped it, but let me tell you how funny this really turned out. I dropped it, and then I looked at the guy, and I said, "Oops, I'm sorry. I dropped a whole thing of blueberries." There was a young guy standing next to me, and he looks at me like with this look, and he goes, "Pick it up." And then he goes, "I'm just kidding." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see this other kid there. Wouldn't have done it if the kid weren't there. Now the kid is going to be picking it up because the other guy is instructing him what to do. I was so pissed at myself. There I go evil, and I get kicked in the ass. It doesn't pay to be evil. I'm telling you, it doesn't pay. Now I'm feeling bad. All right. Wounded, 5 of swords. Wounded.
But that makes though. That makes sense.
What happened?
That makes sense because you did it, but now you feel bad because someone like cleaning it up who didn't want to clean it up. That's kind of like that self sabotage. A little
Thank
bit.
you. Thank you. I had
it's
no business getting into this drama.
Yeah. Right, but you just threw your card in and was like, fuck it, I'm in.
I'm in.
I've been drinking.
I'm full in. And remember, this is something that can happen at work too. She always do this to me. And she's telling you. And then you're like, oh, she ain't gonna do that to me. You can trust and believe. And then you get up in her face to be like, hey girl, and now you've got a problem with the girl you weren't supposed to have a problem with.
Yes, I get it.
Self-sabotage. The good part is I saw my karma right away. Because, God can be kind. He's like, girl, look what you really did. This poor kid has to pick it up. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, God. So, I'll do better. I'll try. I'm still a work in progress. God knows. Another time, just to tell you guys how crazy I can be, I was walking again in Ralph's. I have a lot of problems in Ralph's. And there was a narrow space. And me and this other woman were walking at the same time. And I noticed she wasn't going to give. And I said, if she doesn't give, I'm not giving. And so we collided.
Tracy, I swear that's the Leo.
I have so many issues. And
That's the Leo, because that's something I would do.
it's the Leo Scorpio combo. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh. It's got to be, because I would do that too. It's the Leo.
It's
I would do
terrible.
it like a Scorpio, but I know it's the Leo.
I would do it. I
Huh?
would do it.
See?
You would do it too?
Like if I'm backing out a parking space and a car is like following me trying to get my parking space, I would back out purposely to where they can't get it.
I've done
Especially if I
that.
see another car coming up.
I've done that. I choose who gets my parking spot.
I will play on my phone in the car until they pass up.
Yes, I do that too.
I'm not Tina. You can't follow
Someone's
me
coming
like a
this
show.
way, someone's coming this way, and I kind of look. If this person is old, I'll give it to them, and or if this person didn't I do the same thing. I decide who gets my parking spot.
I can pick who it goes to.
That's funny.
So 5 of Swords is self-sabotage, all right? Insensitivity, a sneak attack, hostility, severing ties. How many times have you had someone go, I'll never talk to them again? You're right. You're absolutely right and wrong. Period. Failure, defeat, loss of faith, negative thinking, cowardness, theft. Theft is theft is not the person that's being stolen from. The 5 of Swords, when you steal, is your self-sabotage. Oh, which reminds me. Hold on a second. Damn it. That just reminds me of someone.
If I
It's,
stole from you, you ain't going to ask for your money back.
Huh?
Somebody stole from you, you had to ask for your money back?
No. One of the girls that
We
takes care.
started talking about stealing, and then you said, that reminds me. I was like, oh, Lord, she got some.
Yeah. One of the girls that takes care of my sister, has, her mama died when she was 12, and she has, these wicked friends, and, they think it's fun to steal, and she wound up in some trouble. All right? And it caught up with her, by the way. She stole, and later on it caught up with her. So she has this court case. And I love her. I absolutely love her. Because I believe people can be rehabilitated. So she went to the courthouse, and then she put me on the phone with the lawyer, and I was like, no. I was like, if you guys don't have video of her stealing, you cannot do this to her. I said she lost her mom. She wound up with some wicked friends. But today she's changing her life. She works with my sister, and she is owning her own apartment, has her own car, working every day, going to counseling, blah, 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 blah. And the other day she went to court for like the third time because they really can't find this video. And I didn't hear from her. And she always calls me after court.
Oh.
So I didn't hear from her. So now we were talking about stealing, and I was like, no, where is she?
You might have got so excited that she won the court case and forgot.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think positive.
I have her aunt, so I'll just go ahead and text her aunt. Thoughtlessness. So because my point to the stealing is, that's why I was telling you the story. When you steal, you hurt yourself.
Right.
There's no growth when you steal. There's no being a part of society when you steal. All right? Which is some of the lectures that I gave this girl. I was like, if you get out of this, you better not ever steal for the rest of your life. And she's getting it. She's getting it. You know what I mean? Like, she's understanding her bad behaviors is costing her. And this is really good with the Five of Swords. Be careful. You might get what you wish for. So when somebody rams you at work and you think you go home and you're pissed and you go to bed with all that energy only to get up, prepare to battle, be careful, because this is where you can lose your job. All right? And you can lose your job in a way where somebody doesn't say, get out, you're fired. You lose your job in a way they document and document and document. They gang up against you. They make your life miserable. Have you ever known that kind of situation?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And so much regret, but not enough regret to understand that you did something wrong. And that's where we come in as spiritualists. We come in and we help them to identify bad behaviors, even if the bad behavior is within you, the person that you're reading. But you'll get a lot of that. Oh, I hear you. Like one of my clients, I think I told you this already. She was having problems at work. Finally, she felt like it was sexual harassment. I'm not going to doubt that claim. Also, she works in she works with a bunch of cooks, and don't ever work in a kitchen. It's a fucked up job. But in any case, she couldn't take the pressure. Finally, decided to ram somebody. And when I say ram, I mean literally just cuss them out. She lost her job that day. All right, and then I was like, "Why didn't you call me? Call me on your lunch break. Like, text me. Like, I'll drop everything to help you." You know. And then she goes, "Well, it already happened." It's like, don't say that.
Yeah, because then you put it out there.
Because you're just a person that's not caring about your actions. I would have preferred to have heard, "Oh my God, I made such a big mistake." Because then I get a better person. But when you say, "Well, it already happened," You're going to bring that same energy to your next job.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're really saying. Oh, well, yeah, it already happened. That's not okay that it already happened. Yeah, you're right. You already lost your job. It's not okay that you thought it was okay to be that ugly. So, let me see how much battery life I have because my phone is dying. You see how quiet my dog got, Betty, now?
Yes.
When I brought her close to me.
Looking at you get up. He gonna make sure you don't go too far.
I literally had to bring him to sit behind
Look
me.
at his little head.
Can you see him? Yeah. He cries like an infant now. I was like, oh my God, not today.
My dog's 14 and she's so needy.
Yeah, this
She's
one's
so
14
clingy.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Again,
that goes along with age.
same
Yeah.
thing, yes.
14, older you get, the more you need
The
somebody, the
reversal.
younger you are, you need somebody.
Yes, the reversal. It's so sad.
It is so sad, yeah.
The Five of Swords warns that you or someone around you, remember, is acting negatively. Hi, Asha. We're on the Five of Swords. Your ego, remember, the woman that was like, well, it happened now, already happened now. Your ego may be preventing you. Mute your mic, Asha. Asha's mute. Shelby. Erica. Mute your mics. You may need to swallow your pride and admit your limitations before you can proceed. Your sense of ego may be preventing you from acknowledging that you have bitten off more than you chew. Perhaps you're blaming others for your mistake. All right? You may be so concerned about winning that you ignore the consequences of your behavior. It would be nice if you got to people before they ram somebody. This is a really good card to get somebody to stop their actions. That's not going to work out for you. If you do that tomorrow, the consequences are going to be dire. So my prayer is that they call you before they do something. Because if this card comes up, it's going to be a problem. Should I talk to my husband about anything? This card comes up, you're like, no, do not talk to him. Do not tell him you just spent $1,000 on shoes. But I feel guilty. Don't do it. Trust the cards. And all you can do is tell them, and all they can do is receive it. If they don't believe you, that's okay. If they use language like, oh, no, my husband's just the nicest guy ever. I don't believe you. You can say, well, all I can tell you is what the universe is saying. All I can tell you is what Spirit is saying. All I can tell you is what I feel like God is trying to tell me to tell you. Take it off of you, throw it into Spirit land, and they believe Spirit more than you. Trust me. The Five of Cups. Sad. Something's lost. Mourning. Some sense of regret. Maybe I shouldn't have told my husband I cheated. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Oh, you'll get clients like that. Trust me. I just came out and told him. Why? Were you having problems in your marriage? Did you want to enact revenge on this guy? No, I was just feeling guilty. Oh, okay.
No, but you never tell. You never
No.
say it.
Never tell.
No.
Never.
Nobody
Ever.
benefits when you do that.
Never. Even if he admits to doing something, you still don't do it. They will use it against you. Trust me.
Deny.
Deny. Lie. Never admit it. Overturned emotions. You know, overturned emotions is one of my favorites. Let's say you're at a wedding and the groom decides, yeah, I'm not marrying you. Overturned emotions. I had a girl that this guy Very, very wealthy. She was getting married in London, flew everybody out to London. Getting married on a Saturday. Friday was the dinner party. Very elaborate castle, blah, 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 blah. She was devastated. Like, it was 6 months later and she was still had not recovered. And at the dinner party, he was like, I can't marry you. How mean is that? Overturned emotions.
Me.
It's mean. It's so mean. Like, do you hate women and you took it out on one poor girl? Like, you get to that point? Overturned emotions. Or there was this Facebook post where this woman was teasing her husband with cake. As they were cutting, they cut the cake and she's like, and he slapped the shit out of her. Overturned emotion. Oh, yes. Now, that was a Facebook post, and I was like, oh, my God. It was one of those controlling countries where the men control. It was terrible.
He knocked her down.
You remember? You saw that? Yes.
Yes, he knocked her
He
down.
rocked her
Knocked her down.
at the wedding, at the reception. What do you do then? Because the Five of Cups means something's lost. You can now not trust this man, but you just married him.
That's what I'm about to ask. Did she get like an annulment or ripped up the wedding
Well,
license?
the video only showed the part where he knocked the shit out of her. That's all we got. We don't know if they, like, how they're doing now. We have no clue.
Or did they still like her
It was
brother?
one of those arranged marriage countries.
Arranged marriages can be very volatile. Yeah. But my point to you is something's lost and something still remains because most likely she continued on with the marriage. That's the something that still remains. But you're always going to be like, I can't joke with you. Dinner's ready. Do you like the meatball?
But is it always emotion?
Huh?
Is it emotion?
Yes. It's cups. Cups are always emotions.
Always emotion.
However, overturned emotions, in one case it's physical violence, in another case it's verbal violence. You know?
Oh, she's so sad.
She's sad.
She's so sad.
She also has a treasure box that's tarnished. Sometimes when you look at other things, you know, you can also state, like, is there some financial issues also that contributed to this? When you look at other things in the card, you know? In the book, there's no treasure box. So look at your decks and go ahead and create that story based upon your cards. Breaking up, feeling abandoned, being scolded or punished, separation, divorce, miscarriage. Oh, this is a card of miscarriage. Something's lost, but the potential for you to have another baby, for the most part, is always there. No use crying over split milk. What's done is done. Let bygones be bygones. The glass is half empty. Now, the difference I'd like for you guys to point out is if you have 4 cups of milk and 2 spill, and you only have 2 cups of vitamin D milk, you go home, you put 50%, you put it in 2 more glasses, so now you got 4 half glasses, you add milk, and now you got 1% or 2% milk. There's a way to regain what's lost. Just because a relationship broke up, you can be in this, no one's going to stop you, but you have to see one relationship is not the end all. What hurts, hurts today. but please always remind them this was not a good relationship anyway. You're crying over a man that used to abuse you. You're crying over a man that didn't respect you in the first place. There are better men out there. Go ahead and grieve because you're do that. But what you're really grieving is why he didn't choose me. Why wasn't he nice to me? That's what you're really grieving. You're not grieving a prize. There's better out there for you. All right? Hey, she responded.
I told you she was excited and just forgot. See how my intuition is? I'm just so good.
See, you're psychic. You're psychic. It's beyond intuition.
Tracy's rubbing off on you.
Yes, she is. Keep it coming.
Thank you. By the way, I wanted to add, guys, I'm not like the best looking teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not prim and proper. I don't carry a stick. I don't be like, and now we're going to talk about this. I am the type of person that's like, fuck this and fuck that and don't let this happen and blah, 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 blah.
You know, it was like, honestly, it was like I don't know. I mean, I feel like you like family.
Aw, thank you.
I did too.
You know?
I like to think of it as sitting at the kitchen table at grandma's house. You know what I mean? When you go to grandma's house, all the women are at the kitchen table just having the best conversations. It's amazing. That's the way I like to think of this as well. And you all be whoever you need to be. All I'm doing is providing the umph to be. That's all I'm giving you. So I'm going to do it my way. You do
You're
it
just
your
real.
way.
You're the real deal.
I appreciate
She's
that.
not bad.
You just say it like it is.
I know everyone tells me,
Relate your way.
everyone tells me, they're like, you talk like my auntie. And then I'm like, oh, I know what type of auntie you're talking about. It's that one auntie that everybody's like, oh. So you always got to be right, right, Tracy? But I am.
I got like 5 of them, and you talk like all of them. It's all good. I got like a lot of them.
Good. With the 5 of Cups, you may have suffered a loss. You may feel abandoned. You may feel betrayed by a loved one. Not all is lost. However, something remains to be salvaged, like your dignity. You can either focus on the glass being half full. He left. He walked out on me. I lost my job. I had a woman, I think it was yesterday. Ugh, I hate when people they start out, Tracy, I lost my job. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that information? And I don't know what to do. And so I'm begging God. I'm like, I don't know. I'm scared. I was so scared. And I'm telling you, what we discovered is that she had a condo. She could sell her condo. She's going to buy a new house in either northern Florida or Alabama. So much cheaper. And she liked to cook, and she's going to figure out how to open up a soup plantation type of store. All of a sudden, she was inspired.
That's awesome.
Something can be salvaged. Thank God she had the condo. That's the salvaging part. Okay. The 6s. The 6 of Wands. Victory. People are going to ask about relationships. When the 6 of Wands comes up, just be happy for them. Oh my God. It's victory. You found the right guy. Finally. Good for you. He's great. Job. I did an interview. This card comes up. The likelihood that they're going to pick them is high. Triumphant. Appreciation. wise decision, success, public recognition, good news, applause, winning. You got the right stuff. You got the right stuff to get the job. Isn't that a song? You got
Yeah,
the right.
the right stuff, baby.
You got the right stuff, baby. Yes, yes, yes. The Six of Cards is a card of triumphant and victory. It could be a promotion in your career. If you're a student, you will receive good grades. You will finish your degree. You will pass that test. You'll get a lot of nursing exams, real estate exams, bar exam people. Very common queries. You will achieve a wish for a goal, and your efforts will be rewarded. You have won a battle and will achieve the victory you deserve. Travel can be a possibility because it's on a horse, and the gait is like you know, a little faster. Like a Knight of Pentacles is standing still. Knight of Wands is rushing up, but this is like, so it also could mean travel, especially if it has other cards associated with it, like the Chariot, which means driving for the most part. Eight of Wands, which means flying for the most part. Two of Wands is a travel card. Three of Wands is a travel card. So any extra travel cards, then you can be like, yeah, is this job gonna make you commute? Is it gonna be out of state? Because if it is, then I really see you getting this job. Like, well, I have one that's local, and I have one that's gonna be an hour away, and you're like, I think the one that's an hour away is gonna call you. And then I swear to God, they'll be like, that's the one I wanted. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid, guys.
So, quick question: is it only if it's with another like Wands card that it's a travel card?
You didn't get a chance to look at yesterday's video, right?
Sorry.
Don't worry. Two of Wands is a travel card. Three of Wands is a travel card. Chariot is a travel card. Well, now that you mention it, Eight of Wands is a travel card. Now that you mention it, there are other types of travel card, but slower. Much more slower speed. What was it? The Six of Swords is a travel card, but not in a way where it's like an amazing feat to get to. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess mostly the Wands. Oh, by the way, I told everyone yesterday, Kiana, for next week, you all have to do your homework and you have to look the major arcana because those videos are impeccably done. All right? Impeccably. Very, very detailed. The Wheel of Fortune is a travel card. The wheel moves. Okay? It also means fortune, but it has a wheel in it. Chariot is a car. A vehicle. That's the chariot. It's a vehicle in modern day times. Travel. All right. Problems will be solved. Agreements will be reached. Good news is on the way. Six of Pentacles. Again, another fab fade. Getting what you deserve. Repayment of debts. Return on investments. Material gain, sound money management, being able to get a grant, a prize, a bonus, usually associated with money, charity, gifts, appreciations, financial assistance, extra money, receiving money owed, acts of charity, all right? Equitable distribution of assets. So if somebody has an inheritance issue and this card comes up with the Justice card or some other legal representation, judgment, justice, Six of Pentacles, and we're talking about inheritance. It will be distributed fairly. All right. Greed is not allowed with this card. Shared prosperity. All right. That means everybody gets a bonus. All right. And everybody gets a bonus based upon the fruits of their labors. So a manager might get a $6,000 bonus, but if you've only been there a year, you might get a $500 bonus, but that's responsibly shared. All right. It involves a business opportunity, a promotion, again, something with the bonus. But I gotta tell you, most companies don't give bonuses anymore. In my day, my husband got bonuses, and it was beautiful. He was getting a bonus one year, and I was in New York City, and I was running around with all these rich women in New York City, because back in the day it was just different. It's not like that anymore. And they all had fur coats. And he was getting a bonus. And I was like, he was nice, because he was a Cancer man, and when he loved hard, and so he was loving me at this time. And he's like, what do you want when I get this bonus? And I was like, I want a coat. I wanted a mink coat, but everybody said mink was too mature for me. So I got a raccoon. I'm not proud of it anymore. I would never wear an animal on my back anymore. But the timing was different. There was no PETAs around to throw red paint on your coat. And back in the day, he got bonuses for years, and it was nice. It fell upon your income when all was said and done, and so when it was time for me to divorce him, and he wanted to divorce me prior to a bonus coming, because that would change his income bracket.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm sneaky, for some reason, I always kept his last year's W-2s.
That might be smart.
Ah!
I know that's right.
That might be smart. I don't know if that's me.
I just photocopied it and I just held on to it. And he always trusted me, so he didn't think to look here or look there. And now we're full on divorce. And he always made good money, and he was like giving me $25 a week, and I accepted it. And I was like, I went back to him after 2 months, realizing nobody can live over $25 a week. And I said, I need more money. And he called me a bitch. And with that word, I was like, oh. You know when you just lose your mind, but you're calm about it? And I was like, oh.
That's the scary kind of mad.
Yes!
Right.
That's the worst kind of magic, dumbass.
Yeah.
Don't do... In any case, we get to the courthouse. It's in Jersey. And Jersey was having problems with men paying their child supports. So they had enacted laws where they would take 80% of the man's income. They made men, to this day, it stands. They make you suffer in Jersey. Welfare was broke because women were taking money from welfare and the boyfriend was living in the house. And they wouldn't get married because that means they wouldn't get the welfare money. Well, they caught on. And the ways that they caught on back in the day, again, I'm aging myself, and they would say, free VCR. They would send a letter to your house, and it'd be like, free VCR. How greedy can you son of a bitches be? You're robbing the system. Trust me, you have enough money for a $50 VCR.
Mm-hmm.
They would take the voucher and get arrested. Jersey did this for like 3 years. That's how stupid the men were. And then they posted all the men that got caught owing a certain amount over on the buses. Their names, it was a nightmare. But they had such a big problem that what they decided to do was any future cases, they took 80% of their income, meaning you had to pay for child care and you had to pay for child support. New York didn't carry that, and I'm a native New Yorker. We got divorced in Jersey. So we go to the courthouse, and the woman looked at his paycheck, because that's what he brought, instead of filling out the form and showing your W-2. I filled out my form and presented my W-2. He only showed his paycheck. She looked at his paycheck, and then she looked at him, and she said, I was watching her. I didn't know I was psychic back then. She said, I advise you to come to a conclusion and agree on a number. When she said that, I didn't know I was psychic. I said, oh, this is in my back pocket. She wasn't talking to me. She was talking to him. So now we're surrounded around people. Everybody's coming out and they're like, man, I gotta pay $150. Man, I gotta pay $250. And I was like, oh my God, if that's what the judge is giving out, I'm screwed. If that's all everybody's yelling about, you know what I mean? That was not enough money for me, right? But I was like, if that's what the judge is giving, I'm screwed. So we went separately, came back, and he did not agree. I told him $500. He was my husband. I knew how much he made. I said $500. Monthly. That's not a lot, people. That's not a lot. And I didn't even know I could include daycare. I had no idea. So I said $500. He called me a bitch in front of everyone again. By this point, my name is bitch. I didn't even know it, but he called me a bitch in front of people. This is a man I loved. How did we get here? But I'm staying quiet because I got a secret weapon, right? And so she looks at him again and she goes, okay, the judge will decide. I don't know if she did it on purpose. She made us the last one. When you're the last one, guess what? The judge is cranky.
Mm-hmm.
He's tired.
Mm-hmm.
We get up there and he's looking at the papers, et cetera, and he's just about to I think he did make a statement. He's like, all right, you can get 400, something like that. And I said, no, Judge. And he said, excuse me? And I said, he doesn't make that money. He makes so much more. And then I pulled out the series of W-2s, the last statement of the W-2. The judge
Here you go.
Huh?
I said, just here you go.
Here
Here's
you
all
go.
the money.
And the judge looked at it, and he looked at him, and he said, Mr. Hearn, I'm going to give you one more try. How much do you make? And that's when he's like, well, Your Honor, I get bonuses. How much are your bonuses? In any case, it turned out, because he lied, the judge nailed him. All I can tell you is that I got $1,800 a month. My son was 2. My son was 2. And then the judge said,
That was a lot of money that many years ago.
oh, my husband made good money. Like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I was okay. But it was child support because I was working for a hospital, and the hospital charged $500 a month out of my paycheck. He had to pay 3/4 of babysitting fees. I mean, Jersey is the best place to get a divorce. That's all I can tell you. The judge said to me, he was so mad at my husband at the time. The judge said to me, every year, come back for an increase.
Wow.
You know what
They shouldn't have cheated on you.
You know what I never did? I never went back for an increase. Do I look like I'm the 5 of Swords?
No.
Does it look like I constantly want to fuck him over?
No.
Now, we always went back to court because he always had something to complain about. He nor I never talked about money. Nope. I'm not a five of swords. I knew what I was getting allowed me to work part-time. Allowed me to be home with my baby. He got out at 3. My ass was there. And he's taking me back to court and he goes, she never works. And I was like, Judge, I work part-time. It was hilarious. I mean, the shit I used to pull. Because he always paid my rent. If I know my rent is paid and I can buy food, my part-time, I worked at the airlines part-time. I'm telling you, I never worked a full-time job from the time the boy was 2. No. And I only had one problem when he quit one job and went to another one. And I called his old job because we had both been there from kids. I called his old job and I was like, where is he? And they were like, oh, you don't know? He went to this company. Thank you. Called the company, told them about child support. They told me, because in Jersey, it goes through the state. So he gives the money to the state sends me a check. So I called the caseworker and I was like, he left his job, he's not paying child support. She's like, where does he work? This is where he works, this is where the company is in Chicago. Got my child support, back pay, everything. Oh, that Scorpio mind. All right. How did we get there? Oh, we got there because of bonuses. Financial assistance in the near future. And again, what if somebody comes to you with that story? All right? My husband is screwing me. If this card comes up, you have to tell them it'll be fine. All right? Do what you have to do. It'll be fine. It's not a magic wand. You might be in line for promotion or financial reward. This is a time for generosity, sound investment, sharing your wealth. You know, if somebody gets a bonus, somebody should be going on vacation as a team. All right? A little extra money is on the way. Ask. Speak out loud. I need help, God. All right? 6 of Swords. Moving away from stress and troubles. Release of tension. A welcome transition. A reconciliation. Women love to hear about reconciling with a sloppy man. Always. They always want to reconcile. If it shows up, it shows up. All right? Seeking calmer waters, tranquility, peace of mind restored, smooth sailing. Just because this card shows up doesn't mean it's happily ever after. It just means, yeah, he's going to show up again. He will. Have no fear. He's going to call you. You understand? Travel. Here, another card that's travel, Kiana. 6 of Swords. That's the one we were talking about earlier. Travel, a trip abroad, a journey, a beneficial change, severing ties, a change of attitude. I'm done. I'm gone. You can say to them, it looks like you're done. And they'll be like, I am. A death that puts an end to suffering, moving from destructive to construction, moving from destructive to constructive. And the worst is over. You ever had such a problem in your relationship that it reaches such a pinnacle you guys can't argue anymore? Because the worst is over. Like a bridge over troubled waters. You're leaving behind a period of strain and worry and anxiety. You're entering a more tranquil time in which your peace of mind will be restored. This is where you give someone permission to leave a relationship. I got that today. She's like, she's so cute. She's like, she said, okay, so she said, I'm having a problem with my ex. And I kept saying him. She goes, well, actually, I'm in love with a woman. And I was like, oh, doesn't matter to me. I'm just in a different age bracket. So in my age bracket, I go to the assumption. So it still has the same meaning, her. And I was like, I don't think you guys are really getting along. I think she's selfish, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, I saw her, King of Cups. And she goes, well, yeah, that's the problem. She announced her girlfriend as an ex. And I was like, remember, she might be an ex for a reason. This guy shows up in the spread, and she goes, well, there's this guy that likes me. So I'm looking at the deck, and I'm like, I'm not quite sure you're a lesbian. No, I said, I don't know how to tell you this. I was like, I don't know how to tell you this. And she goes, just say it. And I loved that she said that. And I was like, well, I don't think you're a lesbian. And she goes, I know. I was like, wait, what? And she goes, and I said, the other thing is that this child showed up. This Page of Swords showed up. So I knew the Page of Swords was her. In my deck, the Page of Swords is a boy. But I knew it was describing her. And then I said, not only do I not think you're a lesbian, I think it was thrust upon you. And she said it was. She said she was molested by a girl. And I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. I was like, okay, here goes some scenarios. Gays don't like to hear this, but it's okay. But these are some of the scenarios. Some people are born gay, period. Some people are made gay. Now, some people can get such an aggravated assault, so much, women, that they're like, I just don't want a man to touch me. They become gay in a way where it's like, ugh, just the thought of a man, right? Because it's based upon a sexual assault. I said, in your case, you became gay, and it's like, what is it, Stockholm Syndrome? Where you fall in love with the person that has made you, that has raped you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I said, you became gay because your first sexual experience is the experience that you kind of live with for the rest of your life. And it's not okay. If you wanted to be with girls, it should have been you that invited that for you. Do you understand? You have to give yourself permission to kiss someone. That's where it starts, right? And I was like, your first experience kind of invites how we do things. So some molesters are molesting, but it's not always. But the experience sometimes can invite that. Now I'm just going to say more of a men than women, but that's not true. Your sexual experience, the first sexual experience, brings about the design. I was talking to a woman yesterday, and she too was molested. There's something going on in the air, by the way, guys. And I think we talked about this in the advanced class. There are some retrograde planets that are making you deal with your ugly. People you have not spoke to will show up. People that you, yes, that you have designed to avoid. I had 2 cousins showed up. And I was like, what the fuck is this? No, I'm in a healthy place. My family's crazy, by the way. I'm in a healthy place. I can't redo. I'm, all right? So people, the readings that you're going to get are all going to be dealing with some deep internal, but it's coming up like this. All right? And so what we discussed was the possibility that she was never gay. Never. And then I said to her, but isn't it great that you got it out the way? Isn't that the best part? You never have to wonder now. You never have to cheat on your husband. I don't know if I was gay, and so I cheated with my best friend. Like, no. How about we just deal with it? You've done it, and I got that she was pretty wild with it. Then she went on to tell me that she told her mom, again, this 2 days in a row, she told her, no, I think she said she got caught. She got caught and got spanked.
Oh gosh. What do you mean with the father?
No, it was a woman.
Oh.
She became gay because a woman invited it.
Okay.
Or I think like she was young, so you know, I don't know the age bracket, but it wasn't a grown woman because that's molestation. It was the same thing, but in any case, it was invited by a girl, but in a way where it was exciting. So then she tells me she got beat by her mother, and I was like, bingo, no, you stayed gay to spite your mother. I was like, did you ever tell your mother what happened? And she's like, no. I'm like, you have to. You have to, because there's this man that's coming into her life that's amazing, and she can't start this relationship off until she clears the air. And that's her job, not his. He will have her back. He will protect her. This is going to be a fabulous relationship. He's been sticking around for her for 2 years. She's going to be blessed with this guy. She's got to clear the air to the left. And then I said, talk to your mother. She was so cute. I was like, talk to your mother. And then she goes, do you think I should talk to my father? And it didn't even dawn on me about the father. And I said, please tell your dad. I said, then what I want you to do, she worked for a really good company, so she had insurance. I said, you must get counseling as you have this new beginning with this man. Why did I tell you guys that? Because it's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Moving from destructive to a constructive situation. The worst is over. Do you understand? That's what you're going to be doing. Helping people dig deep if they have to. And I can't even imagine if you all, because I told her today, I was like, whoever gets a reading with me, their life changes. Everyone. I can't, and I'm not being like, you know, like all egotistical. It's just true. It is part of what I do.
Because
And
you care.
I really
care.
do. I really do.
Yeah, you can tell.
Really, oh my God, I care because I care. I care because I care. Okay. I can't imagine, and you guys can tell me years from now, how being in this class has changed the way you think, the way you operate, the way you treat people, the way you do your readings. I can't imagine that. But you'll let me know. Because you're here for a reason.
But you changed the way that I felt about spirituality because, you know, we're black. And so black people grow up in the church, and black people grow up thinking that, you know, spirituality is bad, tarot cards is bad, psychics are bad. But I saw you, and I saw you praising God, and I was like, well, it can't be so bad if she's praising God while she is doing it. So it makes a huge difference, and you are really one of the reasons why I decided that this is okay for me to, like, really explore my curiosity, because I grew up thinking, you know, well, you're going to go to hell, and this is really bad, and if you do this, and it's that, and blah, 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 blah. But then I was like, but all the people that I've met that actually read cards or are psychics or whatever, they always praise God before they do a reading. So I don't understand how it's so bad if everyone I know is praising God.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I grew up in a Baptist church. If my mom knew that I was even trying to do tarot, I would be like devil worshiping. It would be the worst thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that way. And because of you, Tracy, I know it's not that way. We're not witches. We're
So-
you know, we
Betty, what's your original heritage? Where's your grandmama from? What country?
West Virginia,
No. They're
I
not
mean-
from America. Where are they originally from?
Irish.
Irish. Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
there wasn't some woman in Ireland in some small town that was the medicine woman?
Yeah.
Right.
And I've got a Cherokee Indian on my other side. So.
Well, and as we know, Cherokees believe in the land.
yeah.
They feed off the land. But so did someone in Ireland.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have doctors. In the Philippines, there's marijuana running all over the place. They would take marijuana, make it into a paste, place it on a wound to numb the pain. We all have cultural history that we're remembering. That's all that's happening. Your Indian side, your Irish side. I would really invest in Irish folk culture and medicine. I think you're going to be surprised.
Yeah.
Indian, we know, but check on the Irish side. And Kiana, I did my DNA, and I forget where I'm from now. Oh damn. Well, in any case, I'm from the original voodoo place in Africa. I forget where it's at now. I can't remember. 44%. They show okay, voodoo. But the African culture, what the hell do you think we did over there?
Yep.
We fed off the land, the herbs. We talked to God and spirit in the wind.
Mhm.
We pulled concoctions together. What the hell do you think we did over there? It wasn't until we were forced out of the land.
Yep.
And folks were scared of the rumblings. Folks were scared because they couldn't understand our language, that they would beat us to submission, take our men away, kill our children, until
Yeah.
we understood, oh, you want me to accept God?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Because I want this to
And
stop.
erase out history.
Huh?
Erase out history.
Yeah.
And erase the African history. That history that is saying to you, I need to do herbal work. I need to do tarot cards. I need to do spirituality. It's, again, there's this moment in time where we're all dealing with our ugly, and it's coming back up. We're all saying, I don't believe in this anymore. The Catholic Church is no better. I don't know who's Catholic. Catholics, what did they do? They burned the witches who were the same people that took care of the community.
Right.
They call them witches so they can justify killing them. They were herbalists. Think about it. And then what does the Catholic Church do? They tell you, we'll light a candle in church. We'll use frankincense and myrrh because that's what you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
They just stole the witch's herbal book and was like, okay, we can't tell them absolutely not. So we just wanted them to not believe in these women, by the way. Maybe the problem isn't cultural, maybe it's women. Where are we always smashed down? Always. So who knows? It's just that we're awakening. And Uranus and Taurus, your Taurus is feminine. I think Uranus is male. But that feminine energy, that's what's rising up. That's why you're like, something different has to come to me because I don't like this anymore. Why do you think nobody goes to church anymore? Spirituality will win, not religion. They got it wrong. Very much the way Jesus tried to tell them. Jesus kept telling them, you're getting it wrong, you're getting it wrong. And the more he told those higher ups that he was getting it wrong, the more they were like, oh, he's dying soon. Oh, we gonna kill him. If I see one more person show up to listen to his philosophy, basic love, basic, as opposed to the order of the Jewish church, which meant we were so above you, the Gentiles, you can't eat with Gentiles? And Jesus was like, sit down, Gentiles, let's eat. You understand the law of the church back then and the laws of the church right now? It's fucked up.
Mhm.
It's feminine energy. But have no fear, because in 6 years, there's a fight going on. There'll be internal fights. My prayer, but I don't know, but maybe I shouldn't wish this, but my prayer is that the men will be girls.
I heard that, Tracy. I heard that the reason why feminine energy is rising up is because we needed the men to like build, and now we need the women to nurture.
Yes.
We needed all the men to like build and have technology, but now that we're there, and now we need
Established.
and the feminine energy to take over and nurture and get all the other crap out.
I love that. And I think that's what Hillary was trying to do before we got the bullying. Like, oh no, once again. But women are still fighting. They're not accepting this. They're not accepting this into their lives. In any case. So we got, like, all you're doing is talking to your African side. Wherever that is. Get your DNA done, by the way.
I did.
Who are you?
I am Nigerian, and I found out I was like a quarter white. I was really disappointed. I'm so sorry. I just thought I had like more Asian in my family because of my eyes. I just grew up
How could you
thinking,
not have white in you, though? That doesn't make sense.
well, my family thought we were Indian, so I just thought we were Indian, and like I don't know.
You had no Indian in your blood?
No,
None?
no.
Huh, interesting.
When she said she was disappointed, when she said, were you disappointed?
I was disappointed.
I just thought it was something more exotic in there, and it's not. It's just nothing. It's just the same story. I just thought it was a little bit more interesting, but it's not. But it's just, but I do have different parts of Africa, like Nigerian, and
Is that the prominent country, Nigeria?
yes.
I forgot what do you think I would know this? Because someone brought it for me as a gift. But I have 45% Indian in me. 45%.
That's a lot.
That's a fucking lot. And
That's a lot.
I still can't figure out how that happened. So there's one boat that my dad came from that landed in North Carolina. I understand that boat because we can track our family history back to slavery, right? We have a Facebook page. We update it every 2 years, right? So that's not the point. The other side is where the British and the English took their people. So they took their people to the Caribbean. I don't know, but okay, so I don't have American Indian in me. I have Mexican Indian in me.
That's cool.
So are you going by your dad's or is it the mom's? I
It
thought
has
it's
to
the
be my
mom's
mom's
side.
side. It has to be some migration from my mom's side.
Yeah.
Can't figure it out though. And I'm trying to figure it out, but I can't.
So where'd you go to AfricanDNA.com with that African?
Well, that's my next step, the African DNA, to really break down who my tribe is, because that's what the African DNA will provide.
I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do that.
The regular one
I didn't do that one. I
just
did
tells
the,
you
I
your
did the-
percentage. Say that again, Kiana.
I did two of. I didn't do the African one. I did 23andMe and Ancestry.
See, I was gonna do 23andMe as well, and then I was gonna choose the African ancestry. I just want to do it all.
I never heard of 23andMe. What's that one?
Oh yeah, it's the
That's it.
counterpart to AncestryDNA.com.
Mhm.
I'm trying to look for my results, but it's not coming up.
I found mine 55% West African.
What country?
Nigerian, Ghanaian, Liberian, Sierra Leone.
You have Liberia in you?
Uh-huh. East.
That might be a little white depending upon Jewish culture and coming over to that part of the country. When I study the Bible, there's a lot of migration from Jerusalem.
Mm.
So you actually, the Liberia actually might be your white side.
It could be. It could be.
Mm-hmm.
I have 25% European, which is mostly Northwestern European.
That's
British.
your white side. That's all your white side. You have
Woo,
white.
go
in
ahead,
you.
girl.
You know, honestly, I just thought I had a story. I just thought it would be like, like
You
royal.
do have a story. That's a story to tell right there.
But here's the thing. They make you piece it together. Oh, that's it. Benin. I'm 44% Benin, which I'm so proud of. Because
What's Benin? Where that
in West Africa, we all came from West Africa, by the way. All of us. You're not going to find your heritage to be like South Africa. They did not go to South Africa because the Europeans had already controlled South Africa. So
It's true.
they went to a part of Africa that was unincorporated. So when you do your DNA, you're not going to find South African in you. You do not have that in you. We're all of us are cousins, by the way. We're all cousins. Seriously. But no Benin?
Nope. Nowhere.
Because I have
26% Benin and Togo. 26%.
See, I got Togo. So again, you and I are cousins. Kiana, you and I may not be cousins on the African side.
But it depends because actually, if you do all of them,
Yes.
do like 23andMe and Ancestry. Let me look at Ancestry because Ancestry is different. It's a different percentage of what kind of African you are. So I could
Yes.
be that on Ancestry.
I am so proud of the Benin part. And I'll tell you why. Hold on a second. Oh, there's some updates. Let's see what the updates are. They're always updating this crap, by the way. I'll tell you why. Benin/Togo. And this is where I get my voodoo roots. This is where voodoo started.
Where?
In Benin.
Oh.
See, if I go to Ancestry, it says
So it says
How you spell Benin?
Benin. And it says Benin has ethnic ties to Nigeria. We're neighbors. Togo has ethnic ties to Ghana. And they were flourishing before the Europeans got there. They were fine.
Tracy, are you the only one in your family that has the psychic ability? Like, does your mother
Oh
have it? Grandmother?
no. My mom had it, but she used to literally see spirits and ghosts. And when you have that gift, you bring in bad plus good.
Yeah.
So evil spirits come through. So trust me when I tell you, they're there. Some of those
Yeah.
movies I won't watch because there's some truth to it. So she used to see bad spirits and it would freak her out. And so she told her mom, who was religious mean,
Yeah.
and they put her in a insane asylum for 3 months.
Oh my God. Have you ever heard of anyone being born with a veil over their face when they're born?
I don't know what that means. But what does it mean exactly?
My sister,
My mom told me I was.
You
My
were born
mom-
with the
My
veil?
mom's sister was.
But what does it mean exactly? I never know.
They're supposed to have psychic abilities, and
Yeah.
she does. It's
But-
just like a thin
But
layer
how
of
do you
skin.
know the veil is there, is what I'm saying.
They have to remove it's skin.
well, yeah, it's like a light color skin or clear skin over the eyes when they're born.
Oh,
If you Google those pictures,
In my son's case, it looks like a stocking over the face.
Oh.
The face or the eye.
Over the face.
over the
And
whole
my-
face.
Yeah, and my line, my lineage, they see spirits and everything. I have a
Oh my gosh.
7-year-old granddaughter, and she spent the whole party in her bedroom. You know, yeah. So it's in the family.
Well, my mom just told me that a lady said that it meant she just told me it meant I was special. She didn't go into details why,
yes.
but like I used to have dreams of like demons and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I-
you did? Yeah. I
So
used to
when I
have
would tell her-
out of body experiences.
That's
Yeah, right.
why I refuse to go to funerals. If you're not an immediate family member, I'm not going.
You shouldn't go if you're. I was pregnant when my grandmama died. The woman that I loved with all my heart, they would not let me go to the funeral because they said your son will be born with the veil. As it turns out, he's psychic. He's also a medium.
Oh.
So he'll be like, he used to have a friend that used to live near a cemetery in Jersey, and he could see the dead people come through the houses, and he would be like, no one sees these people. And they had to tell him, stop telling us. We don't see it. My grandson has the gift. He is very, very gifted. Very gifted. So, and he kind of knows it because last summer I was teaching him like how to use his powers early because no one was there for me. So I'm like, I'm going to teach him. So I'm like, you're magical. Make the train doors close. And then I would do other things with him, but he realized what I was doing. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, no, Ezra, no, you're magical. Say, doors close. But he wouldn't try it. But he's very, very gifted. Very gifted. He's got more than I do and my son combined.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt sees demons. She sees everywhere she goes. Like any house she lives in, it's haunted. I don't know if they just
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's true.
everywhere she goes.
She's not lying.
No, I believe her.
I think the problem is how to harness them. That's the real problem because evil is not around. So I teach everyone that you're in control of spirit. You're in control of good spirits. You're in control of bad spirits. With the good spirits, they're just sitting around waiting for you to wake up. So you got to put them to the test. You have to be like, Spirit, when I get to the mall, save me a parking spot. And just go about your business. When you get to the mall, watch. Somebody's going to be backing out and you're going to be like, oh my God, it really works. You got to put your good spirits to work. Your bad spirits, you have to say, at least that's what I said, you're not allowed to show yourself to me. I'm afraid. And I always say, because they tend to come out at night in the dark. I don't know what that's about. And so you could feel the energy. The energy changes. And it's almost fearful because the energy is so bad. And the other thing is, when spirit walks in, it makes me pass out. I'm like, doop-de-doop, doop-de-doop.
Oh Lord.
Gone. And I know it. I feel it happening. I'm like, oh, they're here.
Even now, even like now, that happens to you.
Yeah, for some reason. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, there's a lot of activity in my house now. The lights flicker out only at 8:30 at night.
Oh my gosh.
Only after 8:30. I'm here all day. I work out of my house. Only at night do the lights flicker. I don't know who's catching my attention. There's been some activity where they're moving things now. My grandson's picture. They get on my nerves. Okay, my grandson's picture. This is his picture. I never touch this picture. He's 2 here. I don't touch this picture. This is the way the picture looks. This picture was upside down in the frame.
No.
Swear for God. And I'm like,
Oh.
nobody's gonna believe me.
Yeah.
So I stay quiet, right? And then I keep hummingbirds and feeders hanging up outside. They switched around the feeders. And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, was the feeder here or was it here? But remember, I'm a fixed person. So when I put something up, I don't change it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing until somebody makes me crazy. And then there was three signs. In any case, I finally told someone I trusted. And I said, this is happening. And the last one was my grandson. And thank God she also has the gift. And she said, it's your grandson. Your grandson's in trouble. And I was like, what?
Oh gosh.
And what I believe, the mother got mad at me, so she wouldn't let me see my grandson because the father went to Washington. Just a bitch. And I think Ezra thought something was his fault, and his mom was like pouncing on that. Like, so he took it as grandma's not talking to me.
Yeah.
So I tried to reach out to her. That didn't turn out well. But ultimately, they settled a court case, and so I was allowed to carry him to Washington. And I said to him, I will never leave you. So again, what I'm trying to tell you is that his energy was so strong that they were trying to tell me Ezra's not okay. Ezra's not okay. This picture upside down inside the frame.
Oh my
What
God.
the fuck is that about? Craziness. In any case, when I finally got him, I said, I will never abandon you. I will never change my telephone number. So you have to memorize my number.
Yeah.
This is my number. And we spent 2 weeks in Washington making sure he knew my number. He might have forgotten it already, but I pick him up again, and then we're going to go over it again. Because that activity was strong. Crazy strong, where it was physical stuff moving. And I was like, this is not normal. And so I finally told somebody, and I was like, okay, you're going to think I'm crazy, because I'm always helping people. And you're going to think and thank God, she's such a sacred woman that she understood, and she helped me to recognize from her intuitive ability that it was about Ezra. And the minute I understood that, the activity stopped.
Wow.
All right. As usual, we can't get through. Let's do the next. We'll do the 7 of Wands as part of next week's class. All right? Because it's just getting too late for you guys to keep all of this in mind. Again, the 6 of Swords is a bridge over troubled waters. This is a good time to review your past difficulties. Tell them, look at what you're asking of yourself. Do you really want to stay in this relationship? Document, review your history, review it with a keen eye. That's the only way you're going to really see if you should be in this relationship. It looks like you should leave to me. But if you're having questions, then sit back. And I told this woman the other day, I said, give yourself 1 year. write down the pros, write down the cons. I said, I think I see you leaving anyway, but at least you won't have any regret by looking and documenting and giving yourself more time. But it literally means being able to leave a destructive situation or pattern behind you. Last card is the Six of Cups. So here's the thing you must remember with the Six of Cups. And I'm going to be very, very clear. It's familiar energy. It's home. It's high school. It's elementary school. Familiar energy. Am I going to meet someone? If this card comes up, you have to say, I think you're going to meet somebody from the same state that you came from your high school, from elementary school. So that's literally. But the other way it could come out is like you met somebody in college. And then he showed up again 10 years later. Do you know what I mean? You met somebody at your first job. And you're like, oh my God, I know you. Familiar. The question that everyone always asks is, do I know the person? The only reason why they're asking that question is because they want some pathetic man to return. I promise you. When they ask that question and they jump you, meaning they don't even let you do the reading, they jump you. And they're like, do I know him? Because to them, what you're describing sounds like someone that they know. I'm sorry, I didn't add, he calls you out your face, he abuses you. I didn't add all of that. I might say, it's a water sign man. And they go, I'm Scorpio. And I was like, okay, maybe Scorpio. Let me look a little further. Let me dig a little deeper. You know, or they jump in front of you and they're like, do I know him? And it's like, guys, sit down. Let me do my job because you're intimidating me now. Now you're scaring me because I don't want you to be unhappy. So now you're preventing me from telling you what amazing guy could come through because you want Mr. Pathetic, sloppy asshole to return. So you've got to be able to explain to them, when I start describing the love that's coming through, can you give me some time to figure it out? Try not to ask too many questions because I don't want spirit to interrupt and I don't want to get intimidated. And then just go. Just disappear in a description of what you're trying to tell them. When I tell you how many women will not like what you're telling them, it's everybody. Everybody. I've described, there's a great man coming through. He might have a couple of kids. No. Oh, absolutely not. I can't. I'm like, oh, how old are you? I'm 38. What the fuck are you talking about? What man are you really gonna find that doesn't have children at 38? What are you talking about? I'm telling you, it is hilarious. Or I'll be like, my other favorite is, he's gonna be outside of your race. No, I only date black men. Really? Only? There's a vast array of culture out there. Only black men? We should be looking for love, guys. Listen, I know black culture. I know the black man. My best friend was a Native American. When we went out together, all the looks that I got from folks, like, he never saw it. I never pointed it out to him because I never wanted to hurt his feelings. But the men were mad at me. I'm sorry. Do you realize I wouldn't have chose you anyway? Do you realize that? You were never an option. And by the way, you're standing there with your girlfriend. Your wife. What's happening here? It's crazy. woman that it's gonna be outside your race. She's like, I'm all about black power and I'm like, oh my God. Let's all be about a good man that wants to take care of you. I don't care about the color. Be nice to me. Love me as is. And then let me be a psychic. Let me be a spiritualist. I'm loving you. I don't care what race you are.
I'm with you on that one, Tracy.
Thank you. Life is too hard. And it's now that I'm in my 50s, now it's really too short.
Yeah.
Demetria, Kiana, Jenna, y'all don't see what we see.
Mm-mm.
It's really short now.
Yeah.
Well, y'all are
Yeah, when you-
spiritualists, so y'all get it. What you say, Betty?
When you hit 50, everything changes. It's like, wow.
Preach,
I can't believe
sister.
I'm 50.
Preach. Everything changes. All of a sudden,
Where
you're
did
not.
the years go?
Huh?
Where did all the years go? I still feel young. I don't feel 51.
Here's the thing, Demetria, Kiana, Jenna. If I stood next to you, I'm competing against you. You think you're pretty? I'm pretty too. My body wobbles. So you might be like, and I'm gonna be like, but I'm cute though. I'm cute. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. Your body gives it away, Betty.
Yes.
How dare that this is the joke on you?
I know.
You might be able to stand next to them. Don't walk next to them.
It's awful.
Terrible. That's when I'm like, God, you hate me. In any case,
After 37, I think things change drastically.
it does. It actually changes in your 30s. It
It
does.
was drastic. It was just like,
It's obvious.
yeah,
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
drastic.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what really hurts is when you hear a younger person around 30 say, gosh, she was like some old lady, like 55 or 60. And I'm like, oh my God.
No.
Oh
You
my
should
God.
see when the young girls want to argue with me, and because I have a New York throat, so I cut them up very well, and that's when they go, "You're old." I'm like, you should be so lucky to be this old, you asshole.
Absolutely.
You can't insult me. You can't. You just old. Oh my God, is that the best you got? And I typed that. I'm like, that's your best? I just called you this and I called you that, and it's on public, right? It's either on Instagram or YouTube. I mean, I knock it out the park because I'm vicious, right? And so, and then when their only comeback is, "You're old." Oh. All right, fine. You.
When I explained stuff to my nephew, he said, well, that was in the 1900s.
Die.
And you know how you get him back? You go, absolutely. Diffuse it. Diffuse it. Don't let them see
I'm
you
used to it
sweat.
now, I just laugh. I'm so used to him now, I just laugh.
Too funny. How old is he?
He is 17.
Oh, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's my heart.
All right.
It's true when you turn 50, you really don't care what other people think anymore.
Me
And
neither.
I've just come to that point where I don't care what people think about me anymore.
I'm so happy to be
Yeah.
a part of a system that, like, literally, I've been waking up every day and I've gotten so many things out the way. My family is in Washington. Woohoo! My sister's taken care of. Woohoo! I got rid of my roommate. And it's just me and this dog that won't die. And I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just saying. And so now I wake up every day and I'm like, I'm happy.
I'm good.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
just
good.
happy today.
Yeah. I can go to the grocery store and not put on makeup. I don't care. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
impress
I
anybody.
still walk out with makeup. You won't catch me. No.
And you won't catch me in it.
I don't do it all.
What? You don't wear makeup?
Never have.
It
Can't do
actually,
it. I wear lip gloss, but I won't wear no makeup.
but it actually protects the skin.
Yeah.
It does?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I had too many heat flashes to be wearing makeup.
Ah, I get my glasses too.
That mess would be dripping all down me.
Yeah,
They be like,
no.
what's going on with your face?
No,
they look
I
like a clown. I'm
I
like,
literally
that's a-
carry powder and a brush with me. And I'm telling you, if I go into the local store, which is right here, walking distance, I'm putting some powder on. I have to wear makeup. I won't do it. You will not catch me without makeup. But I'm a Leo. Leos are vain.
Yeah.
We can't help it. I'll be
Oh.
90 in the hospital with red lips. You know, I'll be that woman.
Mhm.
Tracy, I would like to see that.
Swear for God.
God,
I'll
I
be
would love
with that lopsided wig that nobody's washed in 2-3 months. That'll be me. I already know it.
Well, I go out without makeup, but I don't go to work with no makeup, but I go out without makeup.
But you're younger.
You go out without makeup?
No, I go, yeah, like I'll go to the grocery store with no
Locally.
makeup.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you work in makeup.
But I will not go to work with no makeup on. But I will,
What?
you know,
What type of work you do?
I do recruiting, like healthcare recruiting, so I like staff for
Oh.
So you have
Oh, yeah.
to be professional looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Well, I worked in an office before, but I still never wore makeup.
Oh my God, I never leave the house without makeup because I'm so insecure.
It'll never
I was,
happen. You
So
will
insecure.
you will never see blemishes, dark
No.
circles under my eyes. Never. I don't care
I
if I'm
do have it.
tired and I've got to run out 9:30 at night. I'm gonna put a splash of powder on my face.
yeah.
Oh, my.
No one's gonna talk
How
in
much
my
work?
face and see the real Tracy. No. That's why you guys don't
And-
see when I do those videos. You know what I do?
Yeah, I seen your powder and
I make up before those videos.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And everybody's
only-
like, "You look so pretty," and I'm like, "It's makeup."
I didn't do anything to look this good.
I have to do that. I have to be like, "Oh, the you know nature of the nature of makeup." I'm naturally Revlon. That's what I am. See, that's a good slogan. God damn it, I need to sell that to Revlon. Naturally Revlon.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll sell it to all of them. Naturally Revlon, naturally Maybelline. Oh, I'm gonna buy that slogan and then sell it to them. Isn't that a good slogan? Okay, let's finish up. A lover from the past. There's another card here in the 6s or 7 that represents a lover from the past. I think it was a 6 of Swords. Yes, 6 of Swords is someone familiar returns. Hold on. I think it was the 6 of Swords or the 6 of Pentacles. I forget now. A lover from the past, harmony restored. A lover from the past, harmony restored. You know, there is a possibility that someone could return and turn their lives around. The possibility is high. Use the right words. Don't keep them stuck on forever. Women are like Cinderella stories. They like forever. Try to keep them like, yeah, he might return. It does look like it could work out for a while. Don't give
Yeah,
them
I don't want anybody from my past. They're in the past for a reason.
I hear that, Betty.
And who's a loser?
I know, but all your readings, trust and believe, they're going to be like,
But
is he coming back? You know, some of it is a little sad. You're like, okay, honey, let's see. And when you have to tell somebody no, it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing because they're already in so much pain.
I've got to start learning how to pray and meditate before I read somebody. Because if I come up with something like that, I'll allow to be like, girl, you can't see that. you don't need that man. Girl, I see you better leave that man.
Yeah.
But see, I got to do better. I got to learn to do better.
Well, here's
I
what
don't want to tell the truth.
Here's the way to help you.
Yes.
Almost everyone is calling you in pain.
Okay.
Everyone. So at the very least, start out softer. You could end changing their gut. Like, start out with, oh my God, let's see if he's coming back. And then speak softly. Remember, softly, carry a big stick. Well, it looks like he's too mad to come back right now. It looks like he might take his time coming back. And then you look more at the cause and you're like, it looks to me like he was mean to you. Like you were bending over backwards to like maybe service him. And then when they start agreeing with you, you're like, oh, let me tell you. And then listen. Let me tell you, he did this to me, he did that to me. And then you can go, you know what, fuck him. What are you looking for him for? What the hell is this? You're spending good money to see if some pathetic dude is going to come back? No. Do you know what I mean? So start out
I like that
softly and then land on them. Because what you want for them is you want to get them to understand that when they get off the phone, they're not suicidal.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? You want to leave them healthy. And
Right.
so if you're going to change something inside of them, you can finalize it by saying, oh, what a son of a bitch he is. Oh, how dare he treat you this way. You don't deserve this. You see how you can use the right words? So that then when they get off the phone with you, they're still sad, but now they're like, God, he was a son of a bitch. Tracy's right. I hate him. Oh, we just got to change inside of you. Anger is a good change. So now we go from suicidal to, I'm thinking maybe I'll kill him. I'm kidding.
Right.
Kidding. But we want to change that spirit that has led them to call you.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An old fling, old friends, karmic ties. Try to stay away from soulmate, twin flame, karmic ties. Try not to use those words. Gypsies use those words.
Oh, stay away from
Karmic
twin
ties,
soulmate.
soulmate, twin flames.
Okay.
Women love those words.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I was stuck on it there till you just said stay away from it.
Stay away. Don't do not. They'll tell you. Well, it's just that I got a twin flame. Do you really? You have a twin flame? And who told you about twin flames? Well, nothing against you, Tracy, but I did go see another psychic. No, it's quite all right for you to see another psychic. There's no such thing as a twin flame. There's no such thing as a soulmate. So,
Yeah.
the secret is there really is such a thing as twin flames and soulmates.
There was.
It really is.
Yeah, but they're really confusing.
Well,
It's pretty rare, isn't it? It's not
most
real
people
common.
don't meet up with their twin flames and soulmates.
Yeah.
Most people don't even recognize their twin flame and their soulmates. They believe it because somebody told them this is their twin flame and soulmate. You know how you've met your twin flame and your soulmate? Everything is compatible. There's no resistance. It's just a flow. It's easy breezy. My sister is my soulmate. We never have conflicts. The biggest joke is we're going to call Tracy because we're so compatible. My sister is not my other sister's soulmate. They barely like each other. They do, but they don't. There's just a difference. A man is not necessarily your soulmate or your twin flame because if he was, you would not be calling me.
Right.
Now, the way I like to explain it is one person gets the memo, the other person doesn't. The girl calls a psychic and tells her twin flame energy. The man doesn't call a psychic.
Do you have very many men that call you, or is it mostly women?
It is mostly women, and it's adorable when the men call me. A lot of gay men
Yeah.
call me,
Yeah.
and straight men do call me, but when straight men call me, man, are they suffering from a woman. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah, it gotta be bad, right?
They're broken, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't like to call.
They don't like to call. So if they get there, it's hard. Like, ugh, their heart hurts.
Yeah.
Because the woman is a bitch or she's riding him for money. It's terrible. Terrible. And all they want is to be loved.
Yeah.
And they're caught in a vice. The same vice that we get caught up in with men. That emotional vice. They get caught up in it also. Because women are really good at sexting.
Yeah.
The ones that can manipulate. The ones that can manipulate are amazing. Like, I would see them as my idol because most women are not good at that.
Yeah.
Making a man work for them.
Mm.
Showing their feminine Venus siren power. Most women do not know how to exercise that. When a man says to you, I'm leaving you, you have to go, okay, go to bed. I'm serious. And
Yeah.
he's going to exercise that because he has to fix you, right? So if you keep acting this way, he definitely is going to walk out on you. But you shouldn't be threatened anyway. So let it dissolve. Again, that ain't your soulmate. He wouldn't challenge you that way. Right? Now it's all making sense?
Well, I just don't even get the whole thing with soulmates and twin flames because they always say it's interchangeable. Like they say twin flames. Like first they say it's forever, and then they say it's really not forever. But then it doesn't really have to be romantic. But then most people make it romantic.
Right.
There's like too many things to it that I don't really.
And here's my other favorite. It's a past life. That's my other favorite. Oh, you guys are here for a past life. How about we get off this train?
Yeah.
How about
It's like a
this the
friend.
last past life I'm spending with you? Mr. You're not treating me another life bad?
But that's what I was gonna ask about this cup. Because it's familiar, is it a past life or past life is something that you stay away from?
Again, don't use past life. It's a play on words that gypsies use. And I'm the type of person, let's get grounded.
Yeah.
I don't want people stuck in their heart, sitting on their sofa, waiting for someone to call them because the guy has already fucked 3 women.
Right.
You're waiting patiently. Some of the women are waiting knowing he's in a, like I literally go, wait, you know he's in a relationship? She goes, yeah. And I'm like, what about you dating? Oh, you know, Tracy, I just don't like a lot of people. Really? Does that make, you're laughing, right, Erica? Really? So somehow or another, some crazy psychic convinced you about past flame, soulmate, past life. You're sitting on the sofa. It is now 18 months.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is. That's why I'm a grounded psychic. Oh, by the way, never let them tell you what another psychic said. It will intimidate you. I don't care what another psychic said. Thank you for trying to prep me. You called me? Let me do this. You came to me? Let me do this. I'll figure it out. Well, Tracy, I just want to tell you, you are good. But this other psychic said, I'm going to hang up. Because it's so easy to get intimidated. And don't let them start out with, she said he was my past life. I'm saying she's a fucking liar and she's a gypsy. Not only that, I bet you she convinced you to come back and spend another $100 to $300 so that she could do the work to bring him to you. None of that shit works. Trust me. Oh,
Yes.
Crystals.
by the way, I'll tell you guys a secret. It all works. It all works. I don't tell the public what works because the public is crazy. And they will manipulate someone back to them. It all works. But again, if you do magic on someone specifically to bring them back, it's like bringing back a zombie.
Yeah.
You said to the universe, I want him back. You never described how.
Playing with fire.
See? They come back worse.
Yeah, they're. Yeah.
That's kind of like that movie, The Skeleton Key.
Yeah. What's that about?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, somebody else
That's
knows it.
where it was.
Shelby.
This lady was working at like this. She was like a sit-in nurse or something.
Mm-hmm.
This older guy, but what she didn't know was it was a couple that was like they were here forever, but they was replacing the bodies. Like whenever the bodies would get too old, then they would do like they would trick the nurse or somebody into doing this ritual
Yeah.
where they would possess that person's body.
What's the
Huh.
name of it again?
The skeleton.
I'm going to look at
It's
it.
really good.
It's good. It's good.
I'm going to look it up.
So it's like they thinking so the nurse was thinking that it was a ritual to protect her from being possessed or what have you, but it was actually a ritual to do the switch the body.
Damn.
But you don't know that until like the end of the movie, because they was just telling her don't go in the attic or whatever.
Oh,
Sounds scary.
I know. Am I going to be scared if I watch it?
It's more suspenseful. There's no blood or nothing like that, so it's kind of like a Alfred Hitchcock mind game.
Oh,
I like movies like
those
that.
are the worst. Those are the worst. Those are the ones that make you think of the possibilities.
Right. Like I can't do Jordan Peele. He takes me too far. But
That's too
this one
funny.
was good.
But again, this is a card where you could hear past lives, twin flame, soulmate, whatever those. Stay away. Be really, really responsible. Help your women to grow from an exit of a relationship. All right? Oh, by the way, many of the readings are going to reflect your life. Yes.
Yeah.
Many of the people that come to you are healing you. Oh, yes. Many are healing you. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be like, I just spoke to a lady that has my life. And when you're doing a reading, you're literally, spirit is like pushing it back to you. This is you. This is about you too. Listen. And then spirit helps you with the words, but then throws it back to your soul. It's a beautiful thing once you begin to realize, oh, I'm helping somebody heal from the very mess I went through.
You're almost like a counselor.
It is, but it's different than a counselor. It to me it goes so much deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
You know, we're getting inside of not the head, which is what a counselor does, frees them from their thoughts. We're getting inside the bones,
Yeah. Into their soul.
the soul, the bloodstream.
Yeah.
Like, what's making all of this move from a spiritual place that you forgot exists?
Yeah.
Because we're so busy operating from the mind or the heart. But there's history, like when a child gets molested at 5
Yeah.
and they've chosen to ignore it. And then you get the reading and you're like, something happened when you were a kid? Were you assaulted? Man, now we've got a woman who we've cracked something wide open that she didn't even know she was going to deal with. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're like, I called you about work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hear you. I hear
Do they
you.
get offended? Are they offended when you bring it up? Like, they don't, they're in denial probably, and they never want to talk about it. But.
No. The only reason why I think they're not offended is because I constantly remind them I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
So it's their ancestors and their guides that are
Yeah.
talking to me and that are telling me it is time to talk about this. She forgot, talk about it. I was like, I'm always like, it's not me, I promise you. Half the times, I don't even remember this shit. Everybody calls me back. Everybody calls me back and goes, do you remember? And I'm always like, yeah, but I really don't.
Yeah,
I go,
because
yeah,
right?
kinda.
'Cause
I really don't. I don't think I'm here half the time.
Yeah.
I'm like Abraham Hicks,
yeah,
right? You get
yeah,
that?
'cause she's out.
She's not
Because you're-
there. Half the times, I promise you, when I'm done doing readings all day, I'm knocked out because the energy that I'm using is excessive. So I take my shower, not shower, I take a bath. I take my bath every night. I get in my bed and I'm like this, and maybe I can get through Real Housewives of something. After that, I'm out. Because the energy that I'm using to communicate with these people, it's real.
Yeah.
So they don't
So
get
how do you
offended.
like?
Huh?
So how do you like detox or cleanse yourself from that energy?
Well, because you guys are new, I don't detox anymore. Sleep is enough for me. Alright? But because you all are new, I
Who is in the bathroom?
wait, what happened?
Didn't hear somebody just flush the toilet.
Not here.
I'm done. I am done.
Didn't hear it.
Oh, I didn't hear
Somebody in the
it.
bathroom flushed the toilet. I was like, right in the middle when you was getting ready to say something, they flushed the toilet. I was
Oh,
like,
that's too funny. I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear
I
it.
should be drinking on some Moscato while we up here doing it.
Oh, you're more than welcome to drink. You're more than welcome. Wait, what was the question now? See, you made me forget, Erica.
How did you cleanse yourself of it?
Oh,
You saying
oh,
that sleep work.
I would sage. Those are the beginning stages of keeping yourself cleared. I would sage before, and then I would sage after. I would trust the process of saging. When I worked out of a store, because we shared the room, I would have put a concoction of rose water, Florida water, and something else, and I would spray my room. Those are all spiritual cleansers. I'll show you guys, because I don't do it anymore. I have it here, but I don't do it anymore.
This puppy.
Oh.
Hey, puppy. Hello.
I used to keep Florida water all the time. I thought it was.
Well, listen, I just bought this sage spray, and it's like so good that I spray it on me as soon as I leave out every morning. I spray it on me like perfume. It's great because I can't sage. Well, I don't want to
But
sage.
sage
I
spray
leave every
sounds
day.
amazing. Where'd you get it from?
I got it from the crystal store at the mall. It's so great. I'm gonna go get it. It's
I'm
so great
jealous.
because
Sage
you
spray,
can't,
that's
sage
amazing.
where you leave every day because of the smoke, and you don't want to leave it smoky.
Yes. Besides, to me, sage smells like marijuana, but we're legal here now, so now I don't care. But this is Florida water. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
This
No, I
is
see. I don't see
rose
it.
water. Rose water is my favorite. And then this is orange blossom. One is for money. Rose water is for loving energies. Florida water kills the spirits.
What was the first one?
Florida water.
No, the first one. Very first one.
Florida water. Florida
Rose
water, rose,
No,
rose water, and then orange blossom.
yeah, that one.
That's
What's
what-
orange blossom for?
Well, I use it for money, but anything citrus is
Okay.
orange, but I use it for money. I'll tell you right now. It's nice to have this extra class. Thank you guys. Meaning of.
Are you recording, Tracy? I don't see the recorder on.
Oh shit! No, I'm recording
I know,
over
you-
here. I'm recording over here, but I better stop.
I don't
Meaning of
care.
orange. You waited too long to
That's a
tell
stage,
me.
stage fright.
Oh, well, I want to get
Okay, that's. Yeah.
Oh wait.
It's pretty cool. And then
Oh wait. Let me see. Let me see.
Does it have a
I'm
strong
gonna spotlight you.
smell?
Sage water. I'm gonna spotlight you so everybody could see it. So give me 1 second.
okay.
Participants. Kiki. Spotlight video.
Go.
All
Wolf.
right.
Wait, hold on.
Sage.
Wolf Spirit Sage. Oh, it's with lavender. Lavender's my favorite. Where'd you?
Yeah.
Wolf Spirit Sage. Blessed Sage with lavender. Purification and cleansing. Oh, I'm so jealous right now. I want that.
Alrighty.
How much did you pay for it?
It was $18, $19.
I would buy that.
Yeah. I'm gonna write it down.
I wonder if we can find it on Amazon. Can somebody check?
It's called
Does it-
Wolf Sage Smokeless Sage.
Does it have a strong smell? Can you smell it on?
Oh,